Joined now by Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, who has been listening to the entire press conference. General, what did you make of it?
Yeah, two things, Stuart, and I really appreciate you having me on right after this speech. One, that was one of the most honest conversations with the American public that we have heard out of a presidential candidate in my lifetime. And number two, if you really listen to what Donald Trump just said, he gave us some insights into how he thinks about the whole world, how he thinks about foreign policy, national security, homeland security, immigration, economics. I mean, that was an unbelievable press conference, unprecedented, I think, in sort of political campaigns.
General, let me bring up a couple of questions related to your area. Number one, Donald Trump said on NATO, he said, I want to modernize NATO, and countries who are members must pay. The countries have to pay. What do you make of that?
Yeah, related to NATO, NATO must step into the 21st century, Stuart. We are in the second decade. NATO was built on a series of assumptions post-World War II, operated effectively against the Soviet Union in the Cold War. The global situation has radically shifted and changed, and we are facing a new set of threats that everybody sees all around them. So NATO needs to be relooked. It doesn't mean that the alliances sort of throw the baby out with the bathwater. It means that we need to relook what should NATO be designed for going into the future. And I think that's really important.
A lot of questions concerned Russia and the email hack of the DNC.
Right.
Mr. Trump said he wants to treat Putin firmly, but he wants to be friends. And he said if Putin's got the 30,000 missing emails from Hillary Clinton, Mr. Trump wants to see them. But more substantively, what do you make of what he said about Russia?
Yeah, I think he's right. I think this is about respect. And first of all, it's not about Russia's release of emails, whether they did or not, because we really don't know. It's about what was in the emails. And I've read some of those, and I've seen them in the media. Some of those emails are so disparaging against, the African-American community, the Latin American community, I mean, even women. So I think that we need to have mutual respect with some of the world leaders around the world today. We have none of that today. There is no respect right now, and our relationships around the world, not just with Russia, but with other countries, is very much lacking.
Did you expect to hear what you did hear today?
Well, what I always expect to hear out of Donald Trump is honesty. And like I said up front, this was one of the most honest conversations with the American public. Hey, we are in a tough time right now in this country, and going forward, the country's going in the wrong direction. And I think all of the various surveys and polls that come out, people feel that way, and people are concerned about radical Islam, and they're concerned about their own security and our national security and our economic conditions. So this was Donald Trump, I think, at his finest, giving an unbelievably honest assessment of not only what he would do as a president, but the state of play right now in our own political system, which is totally rigged. I mean, God, I feel bad for Bernie Sanders, and it's broken. The status quo will not work, Stuart.
General Michael Flynn, thank you very much for joining us today, sir. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me today, Stuart. Thank you.